In a heart-wrenching development, Israel has confirmed the identities of 2 more hostages whose remains were returned, even as the Rafah border crossing, a lifeline for thousands, remains shuttered indefinitely. But here's where it's controversial. While Israel ties the crossing's reopening to Hamas's fulfillment of ceasefire obligations, critics argue this move exacerbates the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Let's dive into the details. On Sunday, Israel announced the identification of Ronen Engel, a father of 3 from Kibbutz Nir Oz, and Samthaya Ogarazri, a Thai agricultural worker from Kibbutz Be'eri. Both were believed to have been killed during the October 7th attack, with their bodies taken to Gaza. Engel's wife, Karina, and 2 of their children were among those kidnapped and later released during the November 2023 ceasefire. This brings the total number of identified hostage remains to 12 out of 13 handed over by Hamas, though Israel claims 1 body did not belong to a hostage. And this is the part most people miss. The fate of the remaining 15 hostages is still unknown, leaving families in agonizing limbo. The Rafah crossing, once the only Gaza border point not under Israeli control, has been closed since May 2024. When Israel seized the Gaza side. Its reopening is critical for Palestinians seeking medical care, family visits, or travel to Egypt, where tens of thousands of Palestinians reside. Yet Israel's stance is clear. Rafah stays closed until Hamas returns all 28 deceased hostages' remains. Is this a justified condition or a political bargaining chip? Weigh in below. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Authority has outlined procedures for those wishing to use the Rafah crossing, with temporary travel documents available for Gaza residents and entry permits required for those returning. But with the crossing closed, these measures remain theoretical, adding to the frustration of those trapped in the conflict zone. The human cost of this war is staggering. Over 68,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to the Hamas-run health ministry, a figure deemed reliable by UN agencies and independent experts. Israel disputes this number, but has yet to provide its own tally. Thousands more are missing, and the Red Cross continues to search for answers. How can we reconcile these numbers with the reality of families torn apart? The ceasefire, brokered on October 10th, aimed to end 2 years of war, but tensions persist. Israel accuses Hamas of violating the agreement by firing on troops in Rafah, while Hamas claims Israel is supporting armed groups in Gaza. These clashes have led to public executions of suspected collaborators, drawing widespread condemnation. Are these violations inevitable in a fragile ceasefire, or signs of deeper mistrust? Adding to the complexity, Hamas has rejected U.S. claims of planning an attack against Gaza residents, calling them false allegations. Instead, they accuse Israel of backing armed groups in Israeli-controlled areas. Who's telling the truth? And what does this mean for the ceasefire's future? As talks for the second phase of the ceasefire begin, which includes disarming Hamas and establishing an international authority in Gaza, Hamas insists it won't be part of the post-war governance. Instead, they call for a community support committee of Palestinian technocrats to manage daily affairs. Is this a step towards stability or a recipe for further division? The stakes couldn't be higher. With lives, livelihoods, and the future of Gaza hanging in the balance, every decision and every delay matters. What's your take? Do you think Israel's conditions for reopening Rafah are fair? Or is this a humanitarian crisis being held hostage to political demands? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going.